Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I've been playing Stranded Deep for a few days now. And when I first started playing, I took a look online and I couldn't really find any good guides that were all encompassing on basically how to make all the basic stuff in the game, and that was really frustrating. Found a few videos here, found a few videos there, but not one that really covered all of the basic items what um, and what they look like and how you actually really craft them here in the game. So I think that's what we'll do today. I think we'll cover how to make a stone axe, how to make a stone hammer, and possibly some basic shelter items. So if you guys will hang on for a second, let's um, let's travel quickly over to my other island. We've got to we've got to go back to the start menu here for a moment while I go in and change a few things. Let's just say I found a way to travel quickly across the world. Um, that's helped me gather a lot of resources. Now I know we're looking at a blank screen, but bear with me just for a few minutes more so that I can kind of perform a quantum leap of sorts. Almost done making some changes. Changing the last line. And here we go. This should work. There we are. Hey, all right, everybody. Welcome to my island. I'm kind of calling it Construction Island. It's where I've been bringing a lot of my resources back, and it's where I've been testing, building a lot of structures, a lot of items. Um, Here's my shelter that I've kind of came up with for right now. It's actually a 4 foundation structure, support beams on each side, and 4 roofs and a couple walls. Go up here so you can see what it looks like from inside. Oh, we got a lantern, some beans in case I get hungry, a couple lighters because those are always good. Flashlight, but here's what it looks like. And then I left the back open so I can see the fires and what's cooking. So you didn't come here just to see my crib. Let's take a look at what we want to craft today. First off, let's get rid of some of this junk out of my inventory. I'm not gonna need it. And I'm switching between these items without going to my inventory by just pressing 1 through 5, or sorry, 1 through 8. You'll notice that the slots in your inventory, you have 8 different slots, so this would be slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you just press the number that corresponds with that slot in your inventory, then you can bring it up. Oh, hey, look, I had a few machetes there. Oh, and by the way, all these materials that I just unloaded out of my inventory that you see here on the ground that I've kind of organized for today, I found each and every one of those items in the world. The stuff like the crabs and the shark meat and sardines, potatoes. These are all things that I hunted in the game, but I didn't spawn anything in the game world. These are all items that I found. My character is also wearing goggles and fins. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to bring up the character menu or the player menu to show what's equipped on my toon, or I would, so you just have to take my word that I'm wearing them. So let's take a look here. What are we going to make today? Let's make a crude axe or a stone axe and a crude hammer or a stone hammer. So for the stone axe, we're going to need a rock. We're going to need a stick, and we're going to need some rope. And you bring them all together, bring all of your ingredients together, kind of put them in a pile on the ground. And you'll notice that when you highlight, or when you target one of them, all the ingredients in that pile are highlighted orange. Kind of like if we come over here and we look at the sticks, all the sticks and my campfires and whatnot over here highlighted. Same thing with the rocks. Food, yeah, individual pieces of food highlight. So, for a stone axe, you're going to need one stick, one piece of lashing, and one rock. The way I brought that menu up was I just held down my left mouse button briefly. So, brief left click, and you'll get your pop-up. And here we have our crude axe: one rock, one stick, one rope. And hey, look, there is our axe. Right there. Now let's talk about a crude hammer or stone hammer. We're going to need 2 rocks. We'll need, oh, I brought more than one. We're going to need a stick. And we're also going to need some lashing. There we go. Crude hammer. What are some other things we can make? Let's go back up here and take a look at the pile. Crude spear. You can craft those. Spear is good for fishing and killing crab. In fact, the spear is the only way that I know to hunt fish. So, for the spear, we're going to need 2 sticks. We're going to need some lashing, but we're also going to need we're going to need some stone shards. Now, when I was first trying to make the spear, I searched through a lot of videos on how to make a stone shard. Some people had it right, some people didn't have it right. So here's the basics of how you make stone shards. You take a hammer, you take an axe in your hand. It can be a man-made axe, or it can be a stone axe, or it can be a machete, and you just whack at a rock. After a few hits, we'll notice that it pops up here, breaks into 2 pieces, rock shard. And hey, there we go, crude spear. And there's our spear. What are some of the other things we can look at making here? Well, for craftable items, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these sticks. Because last I remember, I was a little short on sticks. And let's look at making a foundation. When we take a look here at my shelter, I actually have 4 foundations as the base. And each foundation, when it pops up, you'll see here in a minute. If you look, there's kind of a division that runs right here. This area right here is the footprint for 1 foundation. So you have a big pile of sticks, and I forgot, I've got to have a hammer in my hand. I'll go back over here and pick up the crude hammer. So with a hammer in your hand and looking at a pile of sticks, left click, and there we go, foundation. It actually takes 8 of them. So let's just put another one right here. We'll say maybe that's going to be my little guest house. So we're going to need supports, and we're going to need a roof. So let's just go ahead and gather up all these sticks. This is what I like to do whenever I'm building a shelter. Not throwing my hammer. I like to just pile all of the materials that I'm going to be using either on top of or next to my foundation. Just kind of makes it easier for me. And then with the hammer in my hand, we take a look back at the foundation, and because the palm fronds are so close here, I can also make a, looks like I keep throwing my hammer. Looks like I can also make I can make walls, and I can make roof and things along those lines. But since we've got walls on this one, let's just give it the side supports and put a roof on it. So with all of my materials here, some lashing, some palm fronds for the roof. Fronds are also needed for your walls, and plenty of sticks for supports and the roof. Let's see what we can make. Hammer back in my hand, and we'll throw a support on. Support appears as a single kind of upright stick. You can see that. And the supports will go on the four corners of your foundation. And you also notice here from the tooltip pop up, support a foundation support. It only requires one stick. Now what else do we want to make? Let's make a roof. Put a roof on this thing. So the roof requires 4 sticks and 4 palm leaves. Did you guys see that? So when I clicked on roof, it kind of gives me the roof indicator here. Basically, you just drag it over the top of your supports and click. There we go. What else can I make? Do we have enough material to make a wall? We can make one wall. So let's put a wall over here. We don't necessarily want to see the other shelter. Sometimes walls are a little tricky to get on. And there we go. There's my shelter with one roof and one wall. Now some of the other things that I have in my inventory. Actually, let's go up here. I need to grab a lighter. I dropped one earlier. Light these so that we have a little bit of light. Here are some of the items. Actually, these are all the items, unique individuals that I found in the world. Obviously, I made the crude hammer, I made the crude axe, and I made the crude spear. We found a machete, found a hammer, and found an axe, man-made axe. Let's see here, the pocket knife. The pocket knife and the lighter is what you, two of the things that you have in your inventory when you first escape from the plane and you jump into the raft, and you're pretty much your first day on the island. And I've been alive for 8 days. 8 days survived. These are those rock shards. We used one of those to make the spear, and in fact, rock shard can be used as a weapon, albeit it's kind of a crappy weapon, but it does work. Not ideal, but it works. We have the paddle. You guys should recognize that from being in the inflatable life raft. We got this thing here. This is an air tank. If you haven't found this already, the air tank is actually pretty nice for going on really deep dives, or if you have a large shipwreck that you want to explore without coming to the surface for air. As you're swimming along, you'll notice that, hey, my guy's running out of air. He's running out of oxygen, and maybe he's getting close to drowning. So you need to take a breath. Well, the way you use the air tank is you put it in your hand. You get to a point where you want to take a breath, or your guy needs to take a breath, and you left click. And he takes a breath of air, just like that. Been a lifesaver for some really long dives. Recommend hanging on to them if you find one. Now we've got a few other items here. Here's a torch, so large flashlight. With the flashlight, to turn it on, use the left mouse button. But if you just simply left click, it doesn't really do anything. You get the noise, but no light. So you have to click and hold to get the light to come on. And unfortunately, there is no toggle on for the flashlight. So once you release that left mouse button, the light goes off. Here is a smaller flashlight. Kind of looks like it had an aluminum construction, maybe similar to a Maglite. It follows the same mechanic of same use mechanic that you have to press and hold your left mouse button to get it to light up. There's our lantern. Lanterns are nice. They don't require batteries. You don't have to do anything special with them. They produce light all the time. They do it on their own without any special attention. So that's kind of convenient. I've got a lantern here, and I've also got one up there in my shelter. I found a bucket. Haven't found any real use for the bucket as of yet. I had the bucket in my hands. I went under the water. It filled with seawater, and I've tried to put out fires with it or pour water on things, but it doesn't seem that that functionality is in the game yet. I could, however, drink the seawater from the bucket, which didn't work out so well for my character. So word of warning, if you find a bucket, when you first come out of the ocean, it's going to be filled with seawater. Don't left click and drink it while it's full of seawater. You want to empty that out. So the way you empty that out, there's two different ways. You can literally just, with it in your hands, look down and you'll see the water pouring out of the bucket on the right hand side, or you can just throw the bucket, and if it lands upright, you can just knock it over and the water will pour out. At that point, when you pick it back up, it'll be empty. I haven't been able to prove this to work yet, but from what I'm choosing to believe, or what I understand, the buckets should be able to collect rainwater. So I've tried leaving a couple buckets upright through a rainstorm, through a tsunami or typhoon or whatever weather effect it is that we experience here, and collect rain, but I haven't seen the bucket collecting rain at all. So hopefully that's a mechanic that will come into play. Here we've got some duct tape. The duct tape it has to be some sort of crafting material, but I haven't found any recipes or anything that I can combine with it to actually use that duct tape and make anything. So hopefully I can discover enough other junk or items and be able to make something with duct tape. Here's a flare. That's what it looks like in the hand. Go ahead and ignite it. The tooltip on the flare says an emergency flare could save your life or scare away predators. The flare is the only item that I have found, the only incendiary item, I should say, that I found that continues to work underwater. So I'm underwater, and the flare is still going, still producing some light too. And it makes a little bit of light, but it doesn't make a whole lot. I'm not sure that I'll be using flares much, but nonetheless, there it is. Here's morphine. This is what it looks like, and from the tooltip, morphine says that it can be used to treat broken bones. Tell you what, let's test this. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to climb up this palm tree. See, I'm up here at the top, and I'm going to go off. I fell. I get the message, I think I broke something. Let's see. Oh, hey, and maybe you guys didn't see that the first time, or actually I didn't demonstrate it. So I'll jump up here and break a bone again. Hopefully it won't kill me. Ah, Alright, so it says I think I broke something, and it's pretty evident that something's not right because you can see my arm is all sideways. Maybe I jacked up my arm. Got the morphine in my hand, left click, I use it. You get that little bandage kind of sound, and what do you know, my arm goes back to looking normal. What else do we have here? We have antibiotics. Tooltip on the antibiotics says a small bottle of antibiotics can be used to treat poisoning. There are sea urchins here in the game. Usually the sea urchins are around. I've found them around seaweeds. I've found them around coral, things along those lines. If you come into contact with them, your forearm here will get all blistery and have bumps and some nasty stuff on it. Bandages. Bandages can be used to treat bleeding. That's kind of self-explanatory. Binoculars. Binoculars are really nice. Binoculars allow you to zoom in a little bit and look off into the distance. Now that comes in kind of handy for being able to see that shipwreck that may be poking up out of the water a ways away, or seeing bubbles that appear over structures that are in the water. I've used them a lot. And then we have a flare gun. Really like the flare gun. The flare gun has infinite shots. And I haven't found a great use for it. The tooltip says flare gun could save your life or scare away predators. I've seen only once, but once I saw an airliner really at real high altitude flying across the sky. I shot a bunch of flares at it, and it didn't do anything. I didn't expect that it would, but you know, I'm stranded on an island. I'm hoping maybe they see something. Maybe they radioed it in. But other than that, the flare gun provides a little bit of illumination. I don't know if you guys saw that right up about there where my cursor was just a few seconds ago. Might actually go back on the YouTube video. I saw something. I saw some contrails in the sky, and I think it was an airliner. We'll have to go back and review that. So let's take a look here. That's really about it for the stuff that's here on the ground. I've got some engine parts that I've found. This is engine part, come on tooltip, there we go, 1 of 4, and then the fuel tank is 2 of 4, and let's throw those away real quick. And then we have our jerry can, we have our fuel can. A metal fuel can be used for topping up an engine's fuel tank. Haven't been able to assemble the engine. I'm really excited to. I hope I can find the rest of the parts to be able to put it together and maybe mount it on a raft or something along those lines. So hopefully I can find the rest of the parts and we can see what the engine's all about. What else can we talk about? Okay, we've got some coconuts here. In case you guys haven't figured out how to open a coconut yet, let's try this. So you pick a coconut. Oh, I have a hammer in my hand. Let's get a roll tool. Let's get a machete. So you pick a coconut, and I left click once. I heard that little noise. And so basically that's cracking into the husk of the coconut. Whack it a couple times, and it goes from a green coconut into a coconut that has been dehusked. Hit it one more time, and it's a drinkable coconut. So I take it into my hands. Let's take a look at the tooltip here. A dehusked coconut can replenish thirst or be broken into pieces. I'm kind of thirsty. I've only got 4 bars of hydration. So let's take a drink and see how much it gives back to me. It almost filled me up. So we'll throw that back down and continue to beat it with the machete. And you can beat your coconuts with a machete, with your actual pocket knife that you start out with a stone knife, with a stone axe, or with the man-made axe, and the result is all the same. You can go through all those steps. So here are pieces of coconut, and take a look here at my hunger. I've only got I've only got 2 bars of food or stomach content. And we'll eat that coconut, and they give me 1 more bar. Typically, I find that I've got to consume 4 whole coconuts to fill back up my health meter. What else do we have here? Got a bunch of stones. Oh, I also have my campfires. The campfire is the one that's in the middle, and the rocks around the edge would be the fire pit. And then this right here, these 3 sticks tied together by some rope are the fire spit. Now, I don't have enough sticks. I don't think I have enough sticks to repopulate the fire all the way. Let's see if I can light it up anyhow. Nope, I can't light it up. Okay, so to demonstrate the fire spit, which is kind of nice, and I'm lazy, so I really like it. What do we want to eat? We've got some shark meat, we've got some sardines. Let's take a crab. So we'll select the crab, and if we see the crab's in my hand, I walk up here to the fire spit. The fire is going, and I just simply left click. And it puts it on the end of that rope. The fire being right there, surprised the rope's not burning, but it's holding the crab, and we can hear the sizzle of the crab. The crab is cooking. Here in a minute, we'll actually get we'll get this ding. We'll hear a ding. It'll be a kind of a timer noise. It basically tells us that the crab is done cooking. You only get that timer mechanic with the fire spit. With a traditional campfire, we just typically you would have a crab or have some piece of food. The fire would be going, and you would just kind of hold it over the fire. Select something with your right mouse button. Just to talk about that. The way you can drag and kind of hold, kind of like I was doing there in the game, is you have something on the ground. Let's say our crab here. I put my targeting reticle, my little dot over it. It highlights, it tells me what it is, and I press and hold my right mouse button. So that allows me to pick something up and kind of hold it there in space. So without a fire spit, this is how we cook food. You can, well, it's one of 2 ways. You can drag and hold, actually dangle something over the fire, or if we get lucky, we can just throw it over the fire. Did you guys hear that ding? That ding means that my crab is done. So I come back here and I take a look at the crab, and I just left click. It puts it in my inventory, and then when I hover over it, the tooltip tells me it's a cooked crab. So let's take a look at how hungry I am. I've got 3 bars of food. Go ahead and eat it, and it gives me 1 more bar of food. So crab, not too bad for food. Well guys, that's about it for right now. There's some more stuff ever, but I didn't want this didn't want this stream to be too long. Go ahead and leave some comments. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like, and if y'all want me to cover some more stuff, I'll think of something else to cover. Give me some suggestions. Have fun playing Stranded Deep, guys. Good luck. Hope I was able to help.